Okay, most people on here are manifesting wrong. Here's why. A lot of people are using a technique called visualizing, or sometimes I hear the term people, saying that they're going to act totally delulu. And that's great. That stuff works to a point. But it's very ego driven. And where I say it works to a point is, yes, you might see some things start to manifest, but it's very slow. So if you want that kind of, quantum leap type manifesting, what you want to do instead of visualizing, you want to be doing what's called visioning. This technique is explained in the book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. And if you've ever read it, it's great. If you haven't read it, it can be a little religious at points. And if that's not your thing, just kind of, let that fall to the wayside and pick out the things that sound good and resonate with you, or just replace kind of that religion stuff with whatever works, spirit, universe. It's up to you. But anyways, there's some really great messages in the book, and she talks a lot about the difference between what is visioning versus visualization. Visualization, as I said, it's very ego driven. Visioning is very spirit led. It's still getting what you want, but in a way that's aligned with your highest good. It's very intuition led, but also you need to understand how to surrender. And that can be really, really tricky. Visualizing is all about controlling the outcome. Visioning is you're open to receiving what is in alignment with your highest good. And this is, again, where it gets really tricky, and a few things that I've learned on how to move away from visualizing and into visioning. Because if you're visioning, you really have to believe that what you want is going to come. And it does involve a little bit of that delulu, or what I've seen some people talk about, that method acting of just knowing it's coming. But here's a few things that I've done that can help you kind of make that transition from visualizing to visioning. The most important thing to kind of live in a state of receiving and knowing that it's all going to work out for you, to kind of really jumpstart that manifestation, is building your confidence. Building your confidence, not necessarily in yourself, but in, again, whatever you believe in, spirit, in the universe, in whatever. Someone greater than yourself is out there. They've got your back and they're taking care of you. So one thing you can do is, I read this book many years ago. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put a picture right here. Something along the lines about asking your spirit guides. And there's all kinds of ridiculous things in there that the first time I read this, I was like, okay, I'm really going off the deep end here with this woo-woo spiritual stuff. But it'll have things in it like, when you're pulling into the parking lot, ask your spirit fairies to open up a front row parking space, and all kinds of things like that. I know it sounds crazy. Stay with me. Again, read this book. But once you kind of start doing that stuff, you'll see all the signs. You'll see that there is a force greater than yourself taking care of you. And that really helped build my confidence. The second thing I want you to do is think back as far as you can in your lifetime. Write down all of the good things that have happened to you. Write down your accomplishments, things that you have essentially manifested in your own life, and see that you've done this before. You can do it again. And again, kind of seeing that, this isn't your first rodeo. Maybe you've done these things intuitively and had no idea. You can succeed. You can manifest good things in your life. And third, this can kind of fall in line if you read the Ask Your Guides book and you ask your parking fairies for a parking spot, but go practice. So one thing that I like to do kind of can be a practice in magnetism, but also just, can be an adventure, is when I go on my evening walks or morning walks, what I'll do is I'll try to gamify it in some way. So some days I'll pretend I live in the Spring Court or Valeris, and I'll try to find things in my neighborhood that would be a part of that. Or maybe you could say something like, okay, on my walk I want to see 3 mermaids, something ridiculous. And again, you're letting go, you're not overly looking too hard, and you're just kind of seeing those things come to you. Putting those things out there, and maybe if that's a little too out there for you, it could even be more basic of, I've seen girls on here on TikTok do things like called color wax. So the theme is purple, so you're looking for all things purple, and just take it in, see what you're attracting and envisioning into your life without putting too much force on it. Manifesting shouldn't necessarily be about imagining your dream life. It should be about aligning with your assignment, what you're here to do. And the real magic of it does come a lot in that surrendering, which can be a very difficult thing to learn. I guess another popular great book that I'm sure many of you have read is The Surrender Experiment. So again, if you haven't read any of these 3 books, I will put them below and check them out. And again, practice. You'll see that, yes, visualizing works, but it's slow. So practice visioning.